Steve, you are a genius when it comes to promotional video. And I don't say that lightly. I've had promotional videos done by a number of people. Uh, they tend to, I don't know, draw out. They don't necessarily always attract a client. What can you tell us about video for entertainers? What is something to consider when you're shooting video, something to consider in the editing? Can you share any of that?
Sure. Well, let me talk about the editing first of all. Is most performers, when they're putting it together, they usually do it themselves, for one, which is not bad, but also not great. Um, and then two, they they think more of what they like more than what the buyer will like. So you'll find a lot of things in the videos that are very personal, very ego oriented. Magicians are, and not to pick on magicians, but jugglers are like this too. Magicians and jugglers like to show, oh, I have to put in this trick because this will really impress them. And it does nothing. Look, here, let me show you my false shuffles. Look at that. And it does nothing for the person who's buying it. For other magicians, it may wow them, it may interest them. Other jugglers may say, "Wow, five club back crosses with a pirouette, great." The normal buyer, the normal person on the street will look at that and go, "Yeah, I don't know what he did, but it looked nice. It was great." Uh, so they tend to put all that in, and it tends to be too long because they say, well, I have to have this, and I have to have this, and I have to have this, and this. Those have to be in there. And then if you can get in something um, a sales message, that'd be great too. And usually it's just backwards. Usually it's just backwards. Uh, Most performers, when they put something together, it's more about telling than selling. They they want to say, "Hey, look, look, look! Here, let me take you on an arc of my show. Here's how I begin the show. Here's how I end the show, and everything in between, right? And you're gonna love me because everybody loves me." Uh, and there's no narration. There's no through of why. There's no why in it. There's all what, but no why. Which is a good soundbite, by the way. uh, so it tends to be overly long. When I video edit, I try to get things between 2 and 3 minutes, and that has been that's great. I actually, when I set up my video timeline, I put in my ending. I start to put my ending credits at 3 minutes, right? And then I try to set in stone so that I have a hard edge to butt up against. All right. If I can, I'll move it to 2 minutes and 30 seconds and see if I can fit it in there as well. But 3 minutes is kind of where I start. If I have to, I'll go over if it's compelling enough. But but I have to have a really, really good reason to go past 3 minutes. So that's the first thing. Set up the end of the video and try to make everything fit in between. Um, and I don't believe in lots of fancy transitions, edits, effects, and things like that. Those really get in the way of most of the videos that I've seen. It's like, wow, checkerboard transition, great. Or his face swirled around, and now he's over on a different stage. Um, if you notice those things, you're not noticing the sales message, which is what it's all about. Would you rather impress people with how fancy it is or how fantastically clever you are, or would you like to sell the show? Now, sometimes those aren't mutually exclusive, but most of the time when you get people editing their own stuff, they put in all the fancy stuff that really just distracts from it. In fact, the video editor I use most of the time costs less than $100. All right, it's one of those video editing programs that are for home use, is for people putting together their family videos, things like that. But it's all there. You just have to know how to manipulate it. I've looked at other, more expensive things, and I realized, well, that my learning curve is going to increase there, and I don't think people are going to get any more out of it. I may go for uh, more complex editing at a later time, but really, it's it's easily done with cheap software.